Hello, 5th grade math students. This is chapter 5.1, Using Letters as Numbers. This is our first lesson in our chapter on algebra. Let's begin. In chapter 5.1, we're going to learn to recognize, write, and evaluate simple algebraic expressions using a single variable. An expression is a number or a group of numbers with an operation symbol. It's kind of like a number sentence without the equal sign. So let's write some simple numerical expressions to show how numbers in a situation can be related. In our first example, we'll begin with Randy being 12 years old. So we're going to write an expression to show Randy's age 1 year from now. So right now, if we were to make a chart, we would show that right now, Randy's age is 12. And in 1 year, his age would be 12 plus 1. This is the expression, 12 plus 1, or 13. Now let's write an expression that shows Randy's age in 2 years. So 2 years from now, Randy's age would be 12 plus 2, or 14. And finally, what was Randy's age 2 years ago? Well, that would be 12 minus 2, or 10. Each of these is a numerical expression. Now let's learn to use variables to represent unknown numbers and form expressions that use both addition and subtraction. So let's begin with our 5th grade teacher, Mr. Haskin. Mr. Haskin's age is unknown to his students. So we're going to write an expression to show how old Mr. Haskin will be 1 year from now. Let's begin by making a chart. And here's our chart. Since we do not know Mr. Haskin's age, we're going to use a letter called a variable to represent our unknown number. So I'm going to use the letter X as the variable to represent Mr. Haskin's current age. Now let's write an expression that shows Mr. Haskin's age 1 year from now. If X stands for Mr. Haskin's age now, his age in 1 year would be X plus 1. Now let's write an expression for Mr. Haskin's age 2 years ago in terms of X. So his age now is X, and we would subtract 2. X minus 2 would equal his age 2 years ago. X plus 1 and X minus 2 are both examples of algebraic expressions in terms of X. When I say in terms of X, that means we're writing it in terms of our variable, which in this case is X. Please complete this practice problem on your own. What is Mr. Haskin's age in terms of X? If his age now is X years, write his age 4 years from now, 10 years from now, 5 years ago, and 8 years ago. Press pause while you work, and I'll be back in just a moment. Let's go on to our next idea using variables. A variable can be used in place of a number in an algebraic expression. For example, if I were to say the number sentence to you, add 2 to 6, you would know to write 6 plus 2. I can give you the same number sentence using a variable. Add x to 6. You would write 6 plus x. Let me show you another example. If I were to say subtract 3 from 4, you would know to write 4 minus 3. If I were to say subtract 3 from y, you would simply write y minus 3. If I were to say find 4 more than 8, you would know to write 8 plus 4. And if I were to say find x more than 8, you would write 8 plus x. Finally, if I were to say find 5 less than 9, you would subtract 5 from 9. And if I were to say find 5 less than y, you would subtract 5 from y. Try these next 8 problems on your own. Write the algebraic expression for each of the following sentences. Please notice that my z's look a little weird. I always cross my z's because my z's and my 2's look so alike. So everything here that looks like this is a z. Write your z's however you want, but I always cross mine because if I'm writing long algebraic expressions, my z's and my 2's get mixed up. So I just got into the habit of crossing my z's. So go ahead and complete each of these algebraic expressions. Press pause while you work, and there's more ideas to come. See you in a minute. Okay, folks, now let's move on to the next idea, which is where algebra really starts to get fun. Now we're going to learn to evaluate algebraic expressions for given values of a variable. Here's our example. Find the value of x plus 5 when x equals 9. So to evaluate an expression for any given value, we substitute the given value for the variable and then find the value of the expression. So we would say when x equals 9, x plus 5 is equal to 9 plus 5, which in turn equals 14. So the value of x plus 5 when x equals 9 is 14. So let's find the value of 5 plus x when x equals 23. So when x equals 23, 5 plus x would be the same as 5 plus 23, giving us a value of 28. Now let's find the value of y minus 7 when y equals 15. Once again, we'll simply substitute y equals 15, so we'll rewrite our our expression as 15 minus 7, which equals 8. Finally, let's find the value of 30 minus y when y equals 7. 30 minus, we'll put in 7 for y, we'll simply substitute, and then our answer is 23. Now try this practice problem on your own. Complete the chart by evaluating each of these expressions when x equals 8 or when x equals 30. I filled out the first example for you where x plus 4 equals 8 plus 4 when x is valued at 8 and 30 plus 4 when x is valued at 30. Go ahead and solve these. Press pause while you work. There is another idea to come. Now let's use variables to form expressions that involve multiplication. Let's set up a traditional multiplication problem. Let's say we have a box with 12 plums. And we have 2 boxes. So how many plums do we have if there are 12 plums per box and we have 2 boxes? Well, we'd write that as 12 times 2 equals 24. Now let's do the same problem, but let's say instead of 12 plums, we have n plums. Some unknown number of plums. So how many plums are in 2 such boxes of n plums? Well, we would take 2 times n, and that would equal 2n boxes of plums, or 2 times n. You can choose. When you squish this together like this, it simply means you have 2 n's, or 2 times n. What if we had 3 boxes of plums? Well, then we would write 3 times n, or 3n, being the number of plums that we have. The expressions 2n and 3n are examples of algebraic expressions that use multiplication in terms of n. Once again, when we say in terms of the variable, it simply means that we're expressing the relationship between the numbers and the variable. And remember, when we write 3n like this, it's the same as 3 times n, or 3 groups of n, or n times 3, or n groups of 3. Even though they're squished together like this with no sign, it's a multiplication problem or a multiplication relationship. Here's another practice chart for you to fill in. Let's say we have n stickers in a single package of stickers. Find the number of stickers in terms of n, then find the number of stickers for the given values of n. I filled out the first line for you. If we have a single pack of stickers, we would express that as n, or when n equals 15, that would be 15, or when n equals 20, that would equal 20. Complete the same process if we have 4, 7, 10, and 15 packs of stickers. Press pause while you work, and when you come back, we'll discuss division. And now we've arrived at our final idea for Chapter 5.1, using variables to form expressions that involve division. So let's set up a standard division problem. Let's say a carton has 6 juice boxes. And we're going to divide those boxes into 2 equal groups. So how many juice boxes are in each group? Well, simple. 6 divided by 2 equals 3 boxes in each group. Now let's say we have a carton with m boxes of juice. If we're going to divide m boxes of juice into 2 equal groups, we would write it like this, m divided by 2. So there are m divided by 2 juice boxes in each group. What if we have m juice boxes and we're going to divide them into 3 equal groups? Well, then it would be m divided by 3. There is another way to express these, and that would be to write them in their fraction form. M divided by 2 can also be written as m over 2. This line, the fraction line, also means divide. So m over 3 would be the same as m divided by 3 as well. In algebra, you typically want to use this form, the fraction form, m over 3 or m over 2, instead of m divided by 2 or m divided by 3 written this way. Let's complete one final practice problem for Chapter 5.1. A packet of m pretzel sticks is to be shared equally among some children. Find the number of pretzel sticks that each child gets in terms of m, and then find the number of pretzel sticks for the given values of m. So let's say we have one child. That one child will get m pretzel sticks. If m equals 24, that child will get 24 divided by 1, or 24 pretzel sticks. And if the packet equals 48, then the child will get 48 divided by 1, or 48. Let's also do number 3. If there are m packages and 3 children, each child will get m divided by 3. If m equals 24, we're simply going to substitute in 24 over 3, or 8. Then each child will get 8 pretzel sticks. And if there are 48 pretzel sticks, well then we'll get 48 divided by 3, or 16. Each child will get 16 pretzel sticks. Please complete this process if there are 6 children, 8 children, and 12 children on your own. And when I see you tomorrow, we'll go over these problems, as well as explore a little bit more about using variables and expressions. Have a great night.